Huawei Mate 50 series has launched in China today. The new smartphone collection includes the vanilla Huawei Mate 50, Huawei Mate 50 Pro, and Huawei Mate 50 RS Porsche design. The Mate 50 sports activities a 6.7-inch OLED show with a 90 Hz refresh rate, 1224 by 2700 pixels resolution, a 300 Hz contact sampling rate, and 1.07 billion colors. It is powered by way of an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 SoC, paired with 8GB of RAM and up to 512GB of inside storage. The cell phone elements a triple rear camera setup. Huawei Mate 50 has been priced in China at 4,999 Chinese yuans, roughly 57,300 rupees, for the base variant with 128GB of storage. The mid-tier variant with 256GB of storage has been priced at 5,499 Chinese yuans, roughly 63,100 rupees, and the top-end variant with 512GB of inside storage has launched with a fee tag of 6,499 Chinese yuans, roughly 74,500 rupees. The Huawei Mate 50 Pro has been launched with a charge tag of 6,799 Chinese yuans, roughly 78,000 rupees, for the base variant with 256GB of storage, and 7,799 Chinese yuans, roughly 89,400 rupees, for the top-end variant with 512GB of storage. Both the Huawei Mate 50 and Mate 50 Pro are reachable for pre-order by using the mall retailer's website in China in Daybreak in Kunlun, Frost Silver, Kunlun Xiaoguang, Obsidian Black, and Streamer Purple coloration options. Lastly, the Huawei Mate 50 RS Porsche design has been priced at 12,999 Chinese yuans, roughly Rs 1,49,100, for the sole variant with 512GB of storage. The handset is additionally on hand for pre-order by way of mall website in China in carmine porcelain and dark blue porcelain color options. Huawei Mate 50 is a dual SIM nano phone, which runs on MU 13. It sports a 6.7-inch OLED show with 1224 by 2700 pixels resolution, a 90 Hz refresh rate, a 300 Hz contact sampling rate, and 1.07 billion colors. The cell phone is powered by using an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 SoC, paired with 8GB of RAM and up to 512GB of storage. The storage is expandable up to 256GB with the aid of a microSD card. It additionally receives an unspecified Adreno GPU. For optics, the Huawei Mate 50 facets a triple rear camera setup with an LED flash. It receives a 50-megapixel predominant rear ultra-aperture lens, a 13-megapixel ultra-wide attitude digital camera with f/2.2 aperture, and a 12-megapixel telephoto lens with f/3.4 aperture. At the front, it gets a 13-megapixel selfie digicam with f/2.4 aperture. The new Huawei phone has been rated IP68 for dirt and water resistance. For connectivity, it elements 4G LTE, dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth V5.2, USB Type-C port, and NFC support. It also elements a fingerprint scanner for security. The Huawei Mate 50 gets a gravity sensor, an infrared sensor, a hall sensor, a gyroscope, and digital compass, an ambient mild sensor, a laser sensor, a gesture sensor, and a shade temperature sensor. It packs a 4,460 mAh battery with 66 watts wired supercharge guide and 50 watts Wi-Fi charging support. It measures 161.5 by 76.1 by 7.98 millimeters, and weighs about 206 grams. In accordance to the company. Huawei Mate 50 Pro is also a dual SIM nano Phone, which runs on MU 13. The phone sports a 6.74-inch OLED show with a 120 Hz refresh rate, 1212 by 2616 pixels resolution, a 300 Hz touch sampling rate, and 1.07 billion colors. Like the vanilla Mate 50, the Pro variant is also powered by means of an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 SoC, coupled with 8 GB of RAM, up to 512 GB storage, and an unspecified Adreno GPU. The built-in storage can be accelerated up to 256 GB by a microSD. For optics, the Huawei Mate 50 Pro points a triple rear digital camera setup with a 50-megapixel fundamental sensor, a 13-megapixel ultra-wide attitude lens with f/2.2 aperture, and a 64-megapixel telephoto lens with f/3.5 aperture. At the front, it sports a 13-megapixel ultra-wide attitude selfie digital camera with f/2.4 aperture and 3D depth sensing technology. Like the Huawei Mate 50, the Mate 50 Pro is also IP68 rated for dirt and water resistance. The telephone also receives 3D face attention and a fingerprint scanner for security. For connectivity, it gets 4G LTE, dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth v5.2, USB Type-C port, and NFC support. The telephone comes with the same onboard sensor as the vanilla Mate 50. The Mate 50 Pro packs a 4,700 mAh battery with 66 watts wired supercharge help and 50 watts Wi-Fi charging support. It measures 162.1 by 75.5 by 8.5 millimeters, and weighs about 209 grams, according to the company. Huawei Mate 50 RS Porsche design aspects similar specs as the Huawei Mate 50 Pro. The smartphone sports the identical 6.74-inch OLED show with identical features. It additionally has Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 SoC. The most gorgeous improve over the different two Huawei Mate 50 series would be the 12 GB RAM with 512 GB storage. The storage can also be accelerated up to 256 GB via a microSD. For optics, the Huawei Mate 50 RS Porsche design features a triple rear camera setup with 50-megapixel fundamental lens, a 13-megapixel ultra-wide attitude lens with f/2.2 aperture, and a 48-megapixel outstanding tele macro digicam with f/3.0 aperture lens. At the front, the new Huawei phone gets the same 13-megapixel selfie digicam as the Mate 50 Pro. Like the different two Huawei Mate 50 collection phones, the Mate 50 RS Porsche design has additionally been rated IP68 for dirt and water resistance. For connectivity, it gets 4G LTE, dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth v5.2, USB Type-C port, and NFC support. The Huawei Mate 50 RS also points a fingerprint scanner and 3D face attention for security. In addition, the smartphone packs a 4,700 mAh battery with 66 watts wired supercharge help and 50 watts Wi-Fi supercharge support. It gets the same onboard sensors as the Mate 50 Pro. The smartphone measures 162.1 by 75.5 by 9.92 millimeters, and weighs about 232 grams, in accordance to the company.